Hey everybody, welcome to day 6 of our 7-day hormonal health reset. I'm so excited that we made it through the week. We have one more day left, and today is our last 30-minute mentor call. If you haven't been able to join us here live, I just want to say I've gotten your messages and I feel like we've been doing this together even though I haven't seen you in person. So before we get on with our call today, I wanted to invite everybody, if you get the chance, tomorrow night at 9 p.m., I would love for us to reconvene here all together and kind of talk about how this week went for us, highs and lows, in all honesty, no guilt, no judgment. So, Kim, how are you?
Good. Just tired.
Yeah, she had a birthday party at her house last night. You have the most beautiful pool, and all those
Thank
babies
you.
are so cute in there.
It was a good time, but it was it was back to school week this week. Busy work week, and then preparing for the party. So I did my best this week. I mean, I did really good, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's man, it was a busy week.
Yeah, for sure. And I love that now you have all these tools you're equipped with so that you can keep going.
100%. Yes. Yeah. I've done stuff like this, different cleanses and stuff, a couple times a year, each year. And it's so cool as you walk away with different pieces and you do start to learn how to integrate them into busy weeks. So like I had every intention this week to make all the recipes. And then, every night I wasn't even home until 8:30, 9 o'clock, home, but like done with all my stuff. And so I just look at my fridge and I'm like, okay, let's just put all of this together and just veg it out practically. Oh no, I've got to go charge. Hang on. Sorry, I've got to get my charger.
Tell me what questions you have for whether it's recipes or anything that you've been feeling this week. Are there things that you've been dying to like get off your chest or have answered for you?
I do have a question, and hang on, I need to figure out where I put my charger. Oh, it still might be downstairs. Just bear with me as we walk.
No, you're good.
I think, from a nutritional standpoint, of course, the week was filled with so many veggies and low inflammatory foods and just goodness altogether. Oh, my husband moved my charger. Were the foods designed and like the recipes that you gave us, were the foods in there specifically good for women and hormones and just our bodies? I mean, I know I loved the little tips and tricks you gave, about asparagus and foods and potatoes being grounding and good for us in that way. But I guess just more so just kind of is it just following the seasons, like you said, and just staying seasonally, and that just works with our body in that way? Or
yes.
Like what insight do you have there?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that question. So yeah, I try to stick real purposeful when it comes to the season, simply because those are what's best for us at that time, male or female. Okay. Obviously watermelon's good for guys, but it's even better for women. So there are some things I included in there that tend to be more healing for like the reproductive system.
Okay.
So I've read a book before called The Fertility Diet. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's written by an OBGYN who was obviously well equipped in fertility success. And so he wrote this book on different foods to eat during certain times of year that can be really healing to like all of your uterine health. And watermelons are really great too, because if you cut them open and you kind of look at the inside, I think I mentioned this on a call before too, that like when something looks like an organ, it helps that organ. So like when you cut a watermelon open and you look at like the veins on the inside, a lot of times you'll see like little ovaries. I don't know if you've seen that before, where they kind of like
I will now.
yeah, it's actually really fascinating. Sometimes it's more clear than others, but yeah, it's really cool how the things that grow from the earth that are natural have these like precariously similar shapes.
Yeah.
which is just really funny. Also fun.
No, and it totally makes sense. And, it definitely gives you a greater appreciation when you're looking at the fruit and you think of it just in season, you think of it, why it's growing in that time of year. And so it definitely opened my mind to look deeper at it, but then also simplify it, because I sometimes just overdo it. And I appreciated you said, I don't know, was it in your notes sometime this week? But you said at one point, like that you've really kind of, or maybe it was on your blog post or on Instagram, I don't know, but that you've been able to simplify it, even save a little bit more money, just because you're honing in on what you need and what you want. And that's what I'm trying to do, because I'll go and I'll buy like every single ingredient for a recipe, and then I don't end up using half of it and it goes to waste.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like to try to follow the seasonal rule, just keeping everything in front of me, keeping it prepped. That's my other hard part, because if it's not prepped, I don't use it.
Yeah.
And just really kind of start to learn a little bit more too about what each of these veggies can do for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. No, I appreciate it. And something too that I've loved throughout this process is realizing like the simplification part is big, but I don't have to eat all the things, like before I used to get real caught up in like, oh my gosh, I have to have this big slab of meat, and I have to have, eggs in my diet. I have to have, a certain amount of dairy in my diet. And like all of these things sort of played a factor in my eating habits, because I was ingrained in that growing up. And for me, it was always like, there has to be a certain amount of pasta on the plate. There has to be a certain amount, like I'm Italian, so I grew up with a lot of that. And the thing that I've learned the most is like, I got questions about potato salad and that being a meal, but like exactly that, like you don't need to have all of these things on your plate to get a wide variety in your diet. And most people don't realize too that protein exists in everything, right? It's not like protein just comes from meat, eggs, and peanut butter. It's like protein is even in watermelon, right? It's in everything. And so if you're getting, just a high amount of veggies and fruit in your diet, and you're really starting to think about like what is growing in that time of year, you're going to have a lot deeper healing in your body. And the thing that people get super caught up on in the whole protein world is that they feel like protein keeps you full and protein's what builds muscles. But the fat is actually what keeps you full. Like healthy fats, right? Like fats are what keep you full. And so if you are eating like a good amount of avocados in your diet, or maybe you have like cashews, or even just extra virgin olive oil and you're cooking with that, that can be a really great source of nutrition for you, because your body's like reaching to that rather than feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to have this big slab of meat to grow all this muscle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, totally. And I mean, I don't find myself, I try to be intuitively led to a certain degree. I don't love meats. I don't find myself eating a ton of protein. And so I have recently, just in the past couple of months, taken onto collagen and the collagen peptides and gelatin, and just trying to get a little bit of that added more in there too. Cause I would do the bulletproof coffee every morning with the grass-fed butter, and then my MCT and the collagen. And I mean, it really is amazing just once you get some of that into you every day, how it can start your day, and it allows you to make better decisions through the day. I just fall off track when I get too busy and I don't really take those extra few minutes to make a conscious decision. But I do sometimes feel like, okay, if I'm feeling that red meat, or if I'm feeling the meat in general, then I eat it. But I tend to stay away from it. So I'm happy to hear that it's not necessarily should be as big of a part of the diet as it needs to be.
No, yeah. And first I want to say, hey, Lacey, I see you on the call.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Yeah, no, you're exactly right though, Kim. I put that in the email yesterday about collagen peptides, because it's so important to start to include these things maybe outside of what you're used to. It sounds like you've done that before. but it definitely sets the tone. And you're also exactly right when you said, like, you're not taking the time or making the time for it. So sometimes we get super busy in our life and we're like, oh gosh, I'm just going to go through the drive-thru with my kids because I haven't eaten today and I'm starving, right? And like that happens sometimes, surely. And there's healthier options even when you're eating out if you're in a crunch. But I like to keep with me like bars, like healthy bars in my bag if I ever get to that point. Or if I know I'm going to be on the run, like I'll prep some veggies in a baggie that I can bring with me out and about, whether it's like mini cucumbers or carrots or little celery sticks, or even sometimes just almonds. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's so many options out there. If we just take a minute, or two to prep for that day, or even better, like at the beginning of the week, taking the time to really cut everything,
I
get it
know.
all separated in your fridge, and then you don't even have to worry about it throughout the week. You're like, oh, my sweet potatoes are already cut up and ready to be roasted or whatever.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. No, that's ideal for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I have a little timer. I have a timer on my phone. My husband knows that like that time on Sunday is me in the kitchen. And if we're out and about as a family, I might end up prepping on Monday mornings, but I'm still going to like take that time because I know how much time it's going to save me later. And like I said to you before, like it does save me money too.
Right.
Because if it's already prepped, then I'm going to use it. If I don't prep it, it gets wasted.
Oh, it's awful how much can get wasted.
Yeah, I can't imagine like how much waste we as a society have every week when our, spinach or whatnot goes bad and you're just like, oh my gosh. So I actually pre-portion out all my spinach and put it in baggies in the freezer. So yeah, so like I can just put it in my green smoothie and it doesn't go bad.
Okay.
So that's a tip too.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I actually have a workshop this morning, so I can only be on for like another 5-10 minutes. And then tomorrow's call, I'll just make extra long.
Oh, you're fine.
Tomorrow night. And so I'll send a link for tomorrow night's call. It's going to have a different link than the 9 a.m. calls. So the 9 p.m. call tomorrow. Yeah. But do you guys have any other questions?
What bars do you recommend for on the go?
Oh my gosh. So I know, right? I've had... okay. So do you guys like Perfect bars?
I haven't tried them.
They do have vegan options, which I like. And then I used to like RX bars, but now I've moved away from that. I won't talk bad about that company, but just do your research. There's my mind's slipping me. I get them from Costco. What's it called? It's orange and blue. I'll put it in the email. How about that? Okay. So I just ran out too, like 2 days ago because we're moving and I didn't want to buy like the whole thing of bars before we had to move. But I can't remember the name. You know what I'm talking about? Orange and blue? No?
Okay. I don't ever eat any bars. I mean, yeah. I've picked up a Lara bar on occasion, but that's really about it.
Yeah, those are okay. I love like the natural ingredients in those, but yeah, good question. I knew you were gonna ask that too, Lacey, and I was like, and I forgot the name. Like right when I said it, I was like, shoot, I don't remember the name. RX bars. My husband still eats them, even though I've told him a bit about the lawsuit going on there. With that company. He's like, I bet they're cleaning up their ingredients because they're in a lawsuit. I'm like, I don't know. But yeah.
Well, I'll do my research.
Yes, there you go. Anyway, I gotta bite my tongue on that one. And again, like your spouse can only have a deep belief in the things you're doing so much as like they learn on their own, like I can't ever tell him what to do. I don't know.
No.
I feel like that about your spouse, but my spouse is like you can cook dinners for us and stuff, but my lunch is up to me. And I'm like, okay.
And over time, I feel like they start to pick up on it. They're just hesitant and they don't want to do it at first, but they're listening. They're always listening.
Yes. And every single time he's actually done something that I have recommended, like the supplements a couple of years back, he's religious about it now. Like he won't go without because he has, and then he's realized that he didn't feel as good. Like,
Oh, 100%. My
yeah.
husband's the one that puts him out for me every morning. I mean, he didn't want to take him forever. And then he started and he's like, I really do feel the energy. I'm like, duh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they're always listening. Everyone is.
That's
Silently.
Yes. And now he's doing collagen peptides because, like,
Ditto.
I was like, just do like a 10-day trial. Like, you never know, and he did it for 10 days and then he stopped doing it and he's like, oh, I need to do that again.
Yes. My husband this morning was like, am I allowed to use this flaxseed? I'm like, of course. So he threw some in his oatmeal. And again, they're always listening. It's we're just charging the way.
Yes. Isn't that so funny? I'm so glad I'm not the only wife.
No, you're not. You are not.
Oh, so fun. And my kids are like, they're my domain when it comes to food, So when I go out of town or like I'm not going to be there for dinner, I'm like, this is what you're feeding the kids.
Right. Yeah, the kids is my hard part. They're not picky, but you need to put together a whole like a week-long kids nutritional course with some good lunches and dinners. I'd sign up for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Lunches.
It's funny you say that because that was my next thing, and tomorrow I was going to talk about it, but I'll just say it now. So moving forward, there are, different things that are coming down the pipes, and I want to get into our new house in September. Like, we roll into California on the 31st of August because we're driving. And so, yeah, we should be moved in like by the 6th of September. And then I do have a big trip in the middle of the month to Utah. I'll be gone for 10 days. I have a food blogger conference and then the doTERRA convention. Yeah, I'm really excited. So I'm a diamond in doTERRA, which just means that you
congratulations
get to walk like a purple carpet, and they have like,
I know. Have you bought your dress?
Confetti, and my husband has to get a tux, so we're excited. I've tried on a lot of dresses, but I haven't committed to one yet.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're familiar with doTERRA's?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's fun. It's so fun.
Congrats.
All a part of the big gig, I guess.
You deserve it.
I don't know. It's really silly, but
it feels silly, but you've helped so many people. You deserve it. It's not like you just sold a bunch of Tupperware to moms. No offense if anybody's selling Tupperware.
Kim, you are hilarious.
I mean, you've helped so many women and their families. Think about that. You deserve it.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I need to remember that it's like, it's okay to have attention sometimes,
100%. Let the universe just shower you.
Oh my goodness, Kim, you're so funny. Well, come and help me pick out a dress then.
I will. I'll be there.
I know. I actually thought too, because my mom and sister are in California, I'm like, maybe I'll just wait there because they'll give me their honest opinion. Because I've texted pictures to Paul and he's like, that looks great.
Oh yeah. Oh no. And they'll have so many options in California.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Hopefully.
Yes.
Cross my fingers.
That you find your dress and then put together some information on children's nutrition for us.
There
that
you
would
go.
Be phenomenal.
Yes. I know. See, I'm going to have all this time in the hotel. So I'm going to create, like, I was telling Lacey yesterday that I have a book in the works I'm very excited about. I already shot the cover up, but I haven't even finished the inside yet.
That's awesome.
I know. I was with this one photographer and I knew I wouldn't be with her again anytime soon. Like, the budget, like, she's a lot.
Yeah.
Normally my photographer is like in a acceptable range, and this lady was like, but it was a once in a lifetime experience. I know.
Go big.
Yeah. And sometimes like you have to invest in those kinds of things when you know it's going to count, Oh,
100%.
So yeah, we shot it back in like June. What's wrong with me? No, but I'm hoping like I'll be done by December, and then maybe like next summer it'll come out. So
yay!
Yeah. And I will have you guys on my email list so you can know about it. But in the meantime, I really think you guys should get the Medical Medium Thyroid Healing book.
Okay.
It's so good. I put the link in not yesterday's email, but the one before. It's just like honestly transformative. It's helped so much with understanding more about food. And if you really want to know more about food, you can even read his book, Life Changing Foods. I can link to that one today. But
okay, excellent.
I'm so sorry I have to go because I have to head off to my workshop. It's like exactly 40 minutes away and it starts at 10, so I better go.
Oh, yeah, get out of there. We'll talk tomorrow.
But we will catch up tomorrow night, and I hope you guys can make it. Are you going to be there?
Yes.
Yay. Okay.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day 6.
You too. Adios.
Bye, guys. See ya, Lacey.
Bye-bye.